Good evening and welcome to episode 137. As always, let's start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, let all your stress melt away. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, completely relax yourself. Now, think of one thing that you're thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you identified that, think about why you're thankful. Now let's set it free. If you're by yourself, say it out loud what you're thankful for and why. If you're with someone, tell it to each other. All right. So we're going to continue this practice of one chapter from this upcoming book. Today, let's explore how a simple way of changing our minds can change our experiences. Change your mind, change your world. While I was researching this topic, I found that there's actually a book with the same name. How cool is that? So, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how happiness is an inside job and how pain and pleasure are within us, and how we let external conditions dictate our mood. I'm sure we all had some problem today. It bothered us, disturbed our peace. But if you think back, was that an external problem or an internal problem? I would bet a pretty penny that was an external problem. We give external problems power to make us suffer. It's all about perception. I was reading on my LinkedIn feed today, and Gaur Gopal Das said something like, you know, problems are inevitable, suffering is optional. Because again, it's about perception. We give our, so one day, let's say it's going great, right? Everything's going our way. Traffic's flowing smoothly. The co-workers are on their best behavior. The next day, we feel like the whole world is going against us. Someone cuts us off in the traffic. Co-workers sound demanding. It's the same set of characters, but we despise them. Why? Because our internal compass is off today. I don't know whether I told this story before or not, but about 20, maybe 24 years ago, 23 years ago, I was driving through rural Mississippi. Beautiful road, lots of trees, and right on a bend, I saw a small roadside vendor. So I stopped. She was an old lady selling boiled peanuts. Never had boiled peanuts like that before. So I bought a few and started talking with her. I asked her how her day was, and she said it's an especially good day. So I said, okay, what made today an especially good day? And she said, well, I'll make $20 today. Think about it. $20 was an especially good day. Now, granted, I was in rural Mississippi. It was early 2000, but still, $20, right? She just had this particularly bright outlook on life. I bet she never had a bad day in her life. So everything depends on our mind, including our sense of self. We all have this strong sense of self, who we are. We are a certain type of people, right? We do X and not Y. But if you think about it, that sense of self is not constant. It's ever changing. Think about your 10-year-old self. I bet when you were 10, your sense of who you were was totally different from who you are today. Your 10-year-old self may not recognize who you become today. And I'm sure that's true for most people, right? Same thing when you were 20 years old. So our sense of self is evolving. And it's a good thing. And if we know it's constantly changing, why are we hanging on to that sense of self? If we realize that our sense of self depends on our thoughts, it becomes liberating because now we are free to change our thoughts and our sense of self. Right? How cool is that? Our sense of self is always based on our delusions, our anger, our jealousy, our pride, our attachment, so on and so forth. But if it is an imputed sense of self, right, meaning based on our thoughts, then why not impute a happier state of mind? Because the universe gives us what we want. If we continually identify ourselves as tired, frustrated, and angry people, then that's what the universe will give us. We do what we intend to do anyway. So why not create the intention to be happy? If we feel completely rattled and overwhelmed, rather than identifying with that rattled and frustrated self, why don't we tell ourselves that we are peaceful? Let's identify with our peaceful nature. We are this inherently peaceful person who happens to get rattled and frustrated every now and then. Now we change basis of our imputation. We no longer identify ourselves with unhappy or angry, but recognize that those are just our delusions and they flare up every now and then. And we discussed this before, right? That we have this unlimited potential for peace, that golden nugget we keep talking about at our heart. That golden nugget has some dirt on it. But we must recognize that we are not a dirty rock, but a golden nugget with some dirt on it. As soon as we realize and accept that, we become removing the dirt from our golden nugget so that we can be that peaceful person all the time. And that's the story, right? That's what it's about, to making sure that we are peaceful not only during our meditation session, but throughout our day, no matter what the life throws at us, right? So hope all that makes sense. In today's meditation, it's been a while since we did savasana. If you're up for it, let's do that. This meditation requires laying on your back, and of course, I'll walk you through it. So please lie down on a flat surface. Make sure your hands are straight, palms up. I'll give you a couple of minutes, not a couple of minutes, a few seconds to kind of settle down in that position. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, completely relax yourself. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath at your nostrils. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Bring your attention to your toes. See if they're trying to tell you anything. Bring your attention to your ankle. Just notice if there is anything unusual. Bring your attention to your feet. Bring your attention to your calf area. You feel any pain or sensation, just observe it. Bring your attention to your knees. Bring your attention to your thighs. Bring your attention to your pelvis area. Bring your attention to your lower back. Look for any sensations, unusual feelings, and whatnot. Just observe it. Bring your attention to your upper back. Bring your attention to your shoulders. We carry a lot of stress there. Bring your attention to your stomach area. Your attention at your heart. Bring your attention to your neck. Bring your attention to your face. Bring your attention to your eyes. Bring your attention to your forehead. Mhm. Take a deep breath, inhaling from your toes all the way to your forehead, exhaling from your forehead all the way to your toes. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Any questions?
No question on my side, Nirobe.
Okay. Uncle, any questions?
Not really any questions, but just want to add something
Please.
on perception of mind, basically, where you get the happiness or unhappiness.
Yeah.
And I think that again comes from comparison and knowledge.
We talked about that
Yeah,
comparison piece, right?
yeah.
Last week. But I think more than comparison, Uncle, I think is what you choose, right? Um, for example, I got a, I dropped a key in Lake Estate, right? In the middle of nowhere. Now I could be unhappy about it, right? Obviously, you do what you need to do to get come home. But if you let that frustrate you, right? doesn't help. Only thing it does is disturbs your inner peace, right? So these external conditions, whatever they may be, right, they come and they go. But if we choose that, hey, is this too shall pass, right? They did a happiness study, and if a guy won a lottery, right, he goes up all the way. 30 days later, he's back to his original state of mind. Somebody lost their kid, goes all the way down. 30 days later, they're back to their original state of mind. So these things come and go, but we just have to make sure that it's an external problem. Let's make sure it doesn't disturb our inner peace. That's all. Does that make sense?
The problem is that most of the time you take the ownership of that problem. Rather than detaching from that problem, you become the owner and probably a solver or problem solving person.
You become the problem. If it's one thing to take ownership of the problem, but sometimes you so intertwine with this thing that
You become the problem.
you
I see your point.
yeah, you become the part and parcel of the problem rather than
Yeah.
no, just say okay.
Rather than detaching.
Exactly, right? Somebody said it very nicely. It's a drama going out there, right? If we look at it as a drama, as an audience, right, we can still solve those problems, but it won't bother us. So, something to think about. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right. We'll